Sometimes the very thing we love the most, the people we love, can be taken away by society. Parents can be separated from children, families can be torn apart. I understand this deeply because I myself had experienced it personally from an auntie point of view. Welcome to Gentle Whispered Thoughts. Are you seeking clarity, comfort, or gentle nudge from within? You've come to the right place. This is a sacred space filled with intuitive readings, reflections, inspiration, and gentle thoughts. It's created to help you reconnect with your heart, awaken your inner wisdom, and gently invite more love, peace, and joy in your life. Through each video, I share intuitive insights to support your journey so you can feel aligned, inspired, and empowered to trust your own inner voice. Please note, these information based on my personal insights and self-evaluation through observation throughout my life. They are intended for reflections, inspiration, and entertainment purposes only. They are not a substitute for professional advice, not for any political or spiritual agenda, including not for medical, psychological, or financial gain. Please listen with discernment and always trust your own higher intuition. Step in, relax, and enjoy space for insights and entertainment only. On the surface level, this feels like one of the most painful human experiences imaginable, especially for biological parents and close family. It feels cruel, it feels unfair, it feels like life has betrayed us. But what many people do not realize is that there is often something much greater being orchestrated behind the scenes. Children born after the year 2012 are not carrying the same frequency as many generations believe them to be. Many are new thoughts arriving from a much higher state of consciousness. They come with a stronger blueprint, a clearer design, and a much more direct connection to their higher state consciousness. Because of this, if the adults around them, especially parents, are not energetically alignment with the frequency required to support their soul purpose or their journey in life, the universe begins to create boundaries. And those boundaries come from their own higher self. This is not a punishment to the parents, to the family. This is helping their loved ones to come into greater alignment. It means the parents may be too far away from their original intended pathway that was needed for that child's very own purpose and mission in life. The separation then becomes part of a higher orchestration. These new thoughts are highly aware, highly alert, and deeply creative in ways that many people do not yet comprehend or understand. Some carry advanced gateway consciousness, meaning they are not only here to be raised or to learn, but also here to teach through their very own existence. So when parents and children or child become separated, society may appear to be the one causing the pain, and we end up blaming them. However, energetically, there is a deeper truth. The child's soul may be trying to guide the adults back into true alignment within themselves. In many cases, the child is actually saving their parents from their own lower self. So, saving the parent's own lower self. They are helping to call their parents and family to come back into a loving state of consciousness. They are actually your teacher, your guides, just in a little baby form. Because when a person remains trapped in anger, blame, victimhood, resentment, or unconscious living, that lower density self can sabotage the very beautiful gift that was meant to grow in the field of universal love. That is why healing becomes necessary. Whether we like it or not, the old ways no longer work. Anger will only create more energetic distance. Hatred will only widen the separation, and bitterness, it becomes a magnetic wall that blocks everything. People often think physical distance is the only thing that separates human beings, but physical distance is an actual illusion. What is real is energy, frequency, and vibration. When we continuously speak hatred, which is an energy, a frequency, a field, filled with resentment, curses, or blame towards other people, even if they are not physically near us, they can feel it energetic level, which affects them personally in their own lives and those around them. And there is another difficult truth many do not want to hear, but I hope that many will begin to hear. When we send hatred toward the mother of the child we love and miss daily, we are also energetically sending that hatred toward the child. Because a mother eternally carries part of her child's DNA within her physical body, and the child also eternally carries the mother's DNA in her physical body. Their energetic fields will always be linked forever in spiritual, mental, and physical. So, no matter what distance apart, they are eternally connected. So, hatred does not stay isolated, it travels between the mother and the child energetically. It circulates through the invisible threads of connection. This can be frustrating to accept, but it's the hard truth. If we truly desire for the magnetic force of love to one day pull that child back into our field again, then healing our thoughts will no longer be an option. It will become a necessary tool. We must stop hating the mother because what we're hating is our child. We must stop hating society because what we're hating is our child. We must stop hating the universe because what we're hating is our child again. And most importantly, we must stop hating the old version of ourselves that could not match or have not yet come to match the frequency of the beautiful gift that once had stayed. Until we decide to change our thoughts, we will always remain locked inside the pain and suffering of our own creation. I know this because I once had lived in those same patterns. Before I learned the 7 fundamentals of light concepts, I carried the same old wounded thinking that many around me who still carries the same. I blamed the universe for my pain. I blamed karma, which is false. It doesn't really exist. I believed I was being punished or there was sin. I thought I didn't deserve it. But apparently, everything began to change when I discovered the Sovereign Universal Love channel of Susanna Marie Emmanuel. I chose to explore the divine transmissions. I bought her books filled with direct wisdom teachings transmitted from Divine Star Master Beings. Then I committed to learning the 7 fundamentals of light concepts through an activated Universal Love teacher. That was when everything slowly began to become clear. There was clarity. That was when my suffering started to make sense. I realized the pain was not there to destroy me. It was showing me how deeply attached I had been to the old, lower ways of thinking. The separation was not only about loss, it was an invitation into consciousness, an invitation to return to love. And for that reason, I'm deeply grateful for the invitation from Chiron through the Southern Universal Love channel of Susanna Marie Emmanuel. Because through this pathway, I began to understand that I was not merely healing personal grief or the grief of others in my family. I was being shown the original imprint of the true evolution pathway humanity was always meant to walk. Thousands and thousands of years ago, humanity was never designed to remain trapped in lower consciousness, such as fear, anger, jealousy, blame, punishment, suffering, and emotional chaos. These were distortions that became normalized through long periods of disconnection from the original source of divine love creation. The original intended pathway was universal love consciousness, a consciousness where the human being learns to think, feel, respond, create, and exist from a higher intelligence perspective of love, rather than from wounded, lower reactions. This was the pathway of true soul evolution. But over time, humanity became imprinted by the thoughts of trying to survive each day, inherited trauma, holding on to karmic memories, ancestral fear, and societal programming. Humanity forgot that love was not simply about emotion. Love is a frequency system. Love is an intelligent organizing force. Love is the only vibration that can harmonize life into its highest potential. When I began learning through the Sovereign Universal Love teachings, I realized I had a choice. I could continue walking the old human pathway of pain, blame, and victim consciousness, or I could choose to walk back into the original imprint, the true pathway humanity was supposed to evolve into from the very beginning. And that pathway is universal love. Today, every human being is being given the same choice. Humanity now stands at a crossroads. One pathway continues deeper into separation, suffering, mental chaos, relationship breakdown, and spiritual emptiness, while the other pathway leads back into coherence, higher in alignment, emotional healing, peace, wealth, abundance, clarity, and soul remembrance. That second pathway is universal love. To many of us, it looks like it's a new pathway, but it isn't. It was always the original pathway. But to understand this choice is not merely an intellectual process. It requires a deeper inner desire to genuinely want to heal the heart. It's about opening the heart, and not the ego, mind. Because many people say they want happiness, but they do not want to let go of anger. So, how can happiness come in? Many say they want peace, but they continue to feed hatred. And there are many who want reunion with their loved ones, but they keep constantly remaining addicted to blaming. Many say they want miracles, but they still worship the pain that came from those. This is why not everyone can yet understand universal love, let alone understand alignment, what it's about. Universal love requires your willingness to return to love, to come into alignment with love, even when your lower self wants to revenge. Universal love requires your willingness to soften, even when your pain wants hardness. Universal love requires your willingness to release the old story that suffering is your identity, a false identity. Because the truth is simple. If we do not choose love, nothing at the high level can truly match our frequency to exist. Love creates wealth. Love creates opportunity. Love creates joy. Love creates peace. Love creates reunion. Love creates healing. Everything beautiful that humanity seeks is built upon one foundational frequency, love. Not temporary emotional attachment, but universal love. The higher governing intelligence of divine creation itself. This is why I came to understand there is only one true way forward. There is only one original pathway that can restore the human thoughts back into wholeness. There is only one field where separation begins to collapse. There is only one frequency that can reharmonize what has been broken. The pathway is the sovereign universal love channel. And through the divine transmissions brought through Susanna Marie Emmanuel, humanity is once again being offered the map back home. The doorway is here, but the real question is, who is willing to choose love so deeply enough to walk through it? Will it be you today?